class. Today we are going to demonstrate what y'all have learned in class. We're going to demonstrate the IV initiation process, and that's going to involve starting an IV. We're going to prime the fluids. We're going to work the pump. We're going to convert from the IV fluids to an INT so that they can go down to X-ray. We're going to reconnect, program the pump, and DC. Okay? First thing before you start IVs is you need an order. Now, some orders in the hospital are standard orders. Okay? A patient gets admitted to PCU or MSSU, they will get IV access, period. We are saying for them to go to those units, they are high risk. Therefore, we want an access on board. Now, IV means intravenous. Access means we're going to leave it in there whether we are giving them fluids or medications. Okay, so to go in and say, I'm starting an IV to start your IV fluids or give you medications, and they say, well, I'm not on any IV medications. Okay, we want intravenous access so that if they should need IV fluids or IV medications, we already have it up and running. Okay? All right. So whenever you read your order, you want to pay attention to the fluid. This says admit to 3 South, start IV fluids, 500 cc's normal saline at 115 an hour. Okay? It then says to start oxacillin 1 gram IV Q6 hours. That is going to be my secondary, my piggyback med. Okay? All right, so to do this, I need to have correct supplies. So I'm going to get my fluid, my normal saline, 500 cc's. I want to check the expiration date. This is June of 2015. I'm looking for the integrity of the package. Okay, now if there is condensation on the inside, that's okay, guys. If the supply room is warm and we bring it out to a colder thing or whatever, it will have condensation on the inside. That's okay. I will need a primary line. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get my secondary line, and since they sent up my medicine very quickly, I'm going to get it. Now guys, I'm going to start one that's not labeled, just because I don't want to use y'all's supplies. Okay? All right, so here's my secondary oxacillin and that medication. Okay? All right. To know how to start your secondary, you are going to have to do a math problem. The order reads start normal saline 500 at 115 an hour. I can't change that. I can't say, oh, well, I only want to run it at 114. Or please let me run it at 116. The doctor ordered 115. I have to have a clinical reason not to run it at 115. With your secondary medications, there is an amount to be infused and there is a minimum infusion time. The minimum infusion time is the fastest that it can go in. We can make it go in slower. So the minimum infusion time on this is 35 minutes. 50 can go in 35 minutes. So can I run it in 30 minutes? No. Can I run it in an hour?
Yes.
Yes. Sometimes we make clinical decisions because this is only 50 mLs. That's less than 2 ounces, but it is going right into the intravascular space. If you're giving Cipro or Avelox, you're giving 250 mLs. For a heart failure patient, I may not want to run that in an hour, correct? So I could slow it down, correct? All right, so does anybody remember their math on how to do the minimum infusion time?
Yes.
What is it?
Amount
The
of
amount
minimum
of
infusion
minimum
times
infusion
60.
time times by 60 minutes over 1 hour.
Okay, so amount is a 50 over the minimum infusion time, 35 times 60 minutes because that's the 1 hour, okay? Now, for those of you who reduce and everything, that's fine. Of course, I had to pick up the one with the strangest math. All right. So that's 3,086, 85. So we'll go with 85. You could round up in that case because that's a minimal thing, but 85 is mLs per hour is going to be our minimum infusion time. Okay. So we've got that ready. Now then, certainly to even gather my supplies and everything, I wash my hands. Now, I am not, in fact, none of us next semester are going to typically have you setting up your fluid at your patient's bedside. Okay? Because your patient will get uncomfortable if it takes you 20 minutes to set up your fluids. All right? So we're going to be somewhere and prime our lines. Okay?